Chris Jones now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
Chicago trusted Darnell Mooney to step up and be their top wide receiver, and he gave them a 1,000-yard season in return. They're certainly hoping that the third-year wideout can form a lasting connection with second-year quarterback Justin Fields. Looks like that connection is starting to pay off, this time for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a give running right is Montgomery. To about the 33-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run. This is Khalil Herbert. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. Now Fields. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He gets it complete to Harris. Running right through it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Fields. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And here's Trenton Gill now. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. We talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Vikings at 3-1 here through their first 4 games, and they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They run the counter with Cook. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Cousins. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Fields now to throw. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Now it's Fields. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw is Fields. Escaping, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they'll have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. They snap it to Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over. The Bears try it on 4th down. And they convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the 1st half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right? Where these teams are locked in and going at it. No points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get... Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it. Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
Yeah, they should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Play fake. Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Cousins gives way to Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 54 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first down. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. Play action now. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. He's at the 40. The 20. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy. Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted,
and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They find some open field here. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Cook up the gut. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and inches, Cousins. The quick slant caught. Cousins in step with Jefferson and time first down Vikings.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so.
He's got him in, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. And his pass incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum the other side is starting to gain.
Throwing on 3rd down. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. Fields. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
With a time work on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaughan. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To throw, Cousins. A bullet throw, but incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Here's Fields. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And throw incomplete.
What we're seeing so far as the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. On second down, Montgomery. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A handoff for Herbert. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Fields. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And
sideline, a really good route, moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength, very nice route.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Cousins. They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Play action. It's Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That's good, the completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And some room to work. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 58 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. A shotgun snap, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Viking 16. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Montgomery back to the ground. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3. Vikings 9-yard line.
Fields now to throw. Open man, he finds Komet. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
The Bears will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Fields trying to throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing football.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Throwing, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That his 1st catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Rager catches it left side. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Throwing is Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now this likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Cousins now. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Now the return is Jones from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the...
And intercepted! Maybe the turning point they need. Andrew Booth puts it on. And the Vikings are right back in this football game. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting negative.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And the Bears are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. We look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Off play action, Fields. They'll roll him out right. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say... bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. 71 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The former 3rd-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Third and long for Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And twice in a row, the quarterback goes down. This offense needs 2 scores, not giving up 2 sacks.
Good route here.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And they take a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really a stellar performance.
So for the Bears, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3.
And they will head home for next week's contest. That is against Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.